Hey guys, it's Sacred G, whatever you want to call me, and in today's video we're going to be talking about 5 unfair criticisms that Fallout 4 received. And Fallout 4 received quite a bit, in my opinion, of some very unfair criticisms. So let's get started with the 5 most unfair criticisms, at least in my opinion. Starting with the first and most commonly known criticism is the lack of player creatability, which is basically you not being able to roleplay and or create a backstory, which I don't agree with. And the reason for that let's at least start with the reason why this criticism exists to begin with. And the reason for that is because in the very beginning of the game, you are presented with you're a pre-war character, you have a family, and you were either in the army or you went to law school. It's a diploma, it was never confirmed, or it's proven that Nora's not an official lawyer. It's just a diploma she gained. And the reason, in my opinion, that it just lacks is because, or that criticism kind of falls, is because that's present story. Like, that's what Fallout 4 was mainly criticized for, was, people didn't want to play as a soldier, or people didn't want to play as, a lawyer. But yet, it's somewhat the same as New Vegas. I mean, yes, Bethesda did add more, but that's, again, present information. How did you accomplish those things? What was your role in the military, and why did your female character want to go into law school? What was her motives and reasons behind that, and what was your character's motives and reasons behind that? And how did your spouse even meet? And what are their personalities like? What's their age? What is presented to us and the criticisms kind of go for are basically the present information that we're given when we actually are able to play the game. Okay, and I will also add, for the male character, you have a speech to go to, but yet, then again, you can literally come up with any reason to how you got selected to give a speech to begin with. It's just kind of odd, in my opinion, to criticize that. Like, again, that's present story, okay? Not background knowledge. We don't know, their family. We don't know their age. We don't even know if they had, friends they were friends with their neighbors, But that's my personal opinion on this. I think it's a very weak criticism, and there's literally nothing given to you besides you being pre-war, the military, or a lawyer, and that's it. And you have a family, and that's it. And also you either had a dog, and it's up for debate if you smoked or not. But with that line that either character drops about the cigarettes is just so vague that it could be literally anything. A neighbor could have left a pack of cigarettes there. Who knows? You can't even smoke in the game anyway, so I don't know why that's a big deal. But you can create a backstory, and you can roleplay as basically a character within the realms of what Fallout 4, or what you can roleplay as in Fallout 4. And for number 2, we have the game railroads you down a certain path. Another well-known criticism, by far my favorite. This is probably one of the most untrue criticisms that I've heard, is that the game forcefully throws you down a certain set and stone path. Like, for an example, most of the reviews on YouTube that I have seen that negatively criticize Fallout 4 specifically go for the main quest, and they follow basically every single thing that comes up that's main quest content. And no, the game does not railroad you. Okay, let's just get that out. At the very beginning, as soon as you leave Vault 111, the world is yours. You can literally not follow that text prompt that tells you to go talk to Codsworth, and you can just go your own way. There are literal quests set in stone for if there's a different scenario of how you found Nick Valentine, because you can find Nick Valentine literally before you even get to Diamond City, even before you even get introduced to Piper. The game does not railroad you down a certain path. Now, with some exceptions, I could get behind, yeah, it kind of does, but not if you're seeking out that content and trying to find different ways at even the very beginning. It doesn't really railroad you because you are free to leave the main quest whenever you want. Like, one of the main memes I've heard about Fallout 4 is that, oh, I spent, this X amount of time looking for tin cans I'm missing my son, or something under those lines. And, that's I don't get that criticism. It does not railroad you. Again, as soon as you leave Vault 111, the world's yours. You do not have to go the way that Bethesda gives you. It's just an option, and it does kind of set you down in the right path, but that's only if you want to play it that way. And no, the game doesn't force you down a certain path. You can literally be an asshole and make very pretty shitty decisions in this game that kind of support against this criticism, such as you allowing Austin to die in Vault 81 and you fucking over Paul Pembroke, or, Henry Cook in Diamond City Blues. Like, come on. It does not railroad you down a certain path. Like, if it was, we would have had a backstory set in stone. We would have known everything about, quote-unquote, Nate and Nora. Alright, for number 3, the settlement system takes up the majority of your playthrough. That is not true whatsoever. I guess if you persist and pursue that part of the game, which makes it obvious once you save Preston and get them to Sanctuary and actually complete the quest titled Sanctuary, which gives you an entire settlement system tutorial. No, other than that, no. The settlement system does not interfere whatsoever with your playthrough. Actually, currently, right now, I am playing through a very evil character who decided to leave Preston Garvey in Concord and is not going to talk to him whatsoever due to the fact I don't want to get involved with the settlement system at all. And not even if you save him, you could still choose not to do the settlement quests. I mean, if anything, if you want Preston out of the Museum of Freedom, I would suggest you just to get them to Sanctuary and then call it good there and leave the Ten Pines Bluff quest marker unresolved. But anyways, I'm playing as a character, left them there in Concord, and no settlement quest notifications pop up. You want to know why? Because I did not pursue the settlement system quest-related content in the game, at least for this playthrough. And it's completely easy to do so, and you don't notice really much of a big difference, minus the fact that, you're not going to be able to talk to Preston if you've already played the game before. But yeah, you don't even have to save Preston. The settlement system does not get in your way, and if you're referring to main story content or DLC, there are people that do like the settlement stuff. And yes, I do agree the DLC should have been released, as free expansions for people that like it. I think charging money for that is kind of ridiculous, and especially for what was given. But at the same time, for the point that I'm making is that no, the settlement system does not interfere with your playthrough. And for the main story, you only have to get involved with the settlement system that I've noticed once. And that's to build the teleporter to get into the Institute. And that's pretty much it. You don't, if people are really thinking a faction quest such as the Minutemen are main quest content, that's a sad mistake. And I'm sorry to say that. But the settlements don't interfere with your playthrough. Alright, the 4th. This is a very well-known one. This is the lack of choice. So, I have heard countless times on YouTube and seen on Reddit people saying that there is little to no choice whatsoever, or consequence whatsoever in Fallout 4. You can't make decisions, there's no consequences for them. Well, there is, and it's all in the side quests. Even in the main story, you can fail quests. It's usually when it gets to the faction section of the story, but the meat of the choices that you get to make are in the side quests. Okay, why do you think New Vegas started off with a side quest? because those quests are known for giving you multiple outcomes for certain things. Now, I will argue that it has less options, and well, it does have less options. It's a ridiculous argument to say Fallout 4 has no choice at all. Even though the main, like there's quests like fucking Diamond City Blues. What's the other? Vault 81. We also got the random encounter that involves a crashed airline. And what's the other one? The Cabot House. Holy crap. I listed 4 quests so far that actually do have choice. And I really don't understand. And that's not, of course, main quest. But I don't understand how there's that argument that there's no choice in Fallout 4 whatsoever. I just don't understand that. There is choice, it's just you're looking in the wrong places. Okay, the 5th and final reason, and yes, this is actually a criticism the game received that I just happened to find dumb, and that is the graphics. The graphics are so last gen. At least when the game came out, people were saying that the game should have belonged on a PS3 due to how it looked visually. To me, graphics don't make a game. It's really the gameplay, and if there is a story in it, then gameplay and story. Okay? But when it comes, like, Bethesda's known for not having the best of graphics. Have the people that complained about the graphics ever played Fallout 3 or New Vegas? Do they not know how atrocious those games fucking look compared to Fallout 4? Yes, Fallout 4 is not visually stunning, and I am very well aware of that, and I could at least to some degree understand that it kind of has last gen, but I don't give a shit. And the game, that's like the best looking game Bethesda's released so far, at least single player wise. Because Fallout 4, the creation engine was updated, and so they were able to add more visual and stunning appeals to it. And I just don't understand the graphics argument. I just think arguing over graphics is silly, and especially compared to the previous games that existed before Fallout 4. Like, Fallout 4 in a lot of areas looks a lot better and is probably, as I stated before, one of Bethesda's best looking games that single player wise that they've released. I'm not saying 76 looks any good. I mean, it looks different than Fallout 4. And it looks a little better. The graphics aren't bad at all. I just think, honestly, people are too nitpicky about what they want in a game. All in all, this is just my opinion and what I think of these criticisms. Like, I used to think that Fallout 4, honestly, was this terrible game after playing it for a long time, years ago, and watching those reviews. And after playing it again and actually trying to roleplay with what's given to me, Fallout 4 is actually not a bad game, at least to me. I could work with it, and this is just, again, my humble opinion, and I do want to apologize for not uploading in a while. A lot of personal stuff's happened, and I don't view YouTube as a job. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.